So I'm glad he won. Excellent, because it's anti-establishment vote. He's with progressives on a lot of important issues, auditing the Fed, against the wars, etc. But he has his kooky side, right? So one of the things that he apparently believes in is getting rid of the Americans with Disabilities Act. Come on. You see? All right, look, let's watch a videotape of him talking about this, and then I'll come and explain, if I have to, how absurd that is. Let's watch.
Can I ask you a question? Sure. Do you support the Americans with Disabilities Act, or do you think that's the federal government getting too involved?
You know, I think a lot of things on employment should be done locally, people figuring out what's right or wrong locally. Some of the things, for example, I think we can come up with common sense solutions. Like, for example, if you have a 3-story building and you have someone who applies for a job, you might get them a job on the first floor if they're in a wheelchair, as opposed to making the person in the business in an elevator, you know what I mean? So things like that I don't think are fair to the business owner. I think we should try to accommodate people. I
But you would have voted against that.
Well, I've never looked at the whole thing to see, but I think that I don't like the idea of telling a business owner that they have to put an elevator in versus that you just not make an accommodation by giving them the first floor.
Do you think Americans, based on the Second Amendment, do you think they have a constitutional right to violently overthrow the government if they see
We're going to stop recording on this public place, sir. This is public place.
All right, that was a lot of fun at the end. You see what happened? Okay, the guy asked him, hey, do you think Americans, based on the Second Amendment, do you think they have a constitutional right to violently overthrow the government? And then the staffer for Rand Paul thought, oh, this put him in trouble. Like, oh, that's it, end of recording. No. Because this guy keeps answering things honestly. If he answers that one honestly, we're going to get in a lot of trouble here. Okay, so no, end of this. Okay, I'm going to be the cop that stops it. So now let's get to the one he did answer, the Americans with Disabilities Act. See, this is the problem with libertarian philosophy. He says, well, let the businesses sort it out. Look, if they hire a guy who's got a disability, all right, common sense will tell you don't put him on the 3rd floor, put him on the 1st floor. Look, common sense ain't going to cut it. I mean, how many times have we gone through this? You're going to let the businesses voluntarily decide to be good guys? You think they're going to build a ramp that costs them a lot of money in case people with disabilities apply? No. They're going to say, hey, listen, good luck with those stairs. If you can't make it up, I don't give a damn. See, part of the job of the government is to protect the weak, okay? And to protect all of us, right? And to give us a level playing field. So, I mean, under the libertarian philosophy, well, if you got a disability, well, that's a sad day for you. The free market will work itself out with you sitting on your home couch and the other people getting the jobs. So now maybe you agree with that, okay? I don't. But if you do, I guess Rand Paul's your guy. I think that's way, way too harsh. And here's what I know for a fact. The businesses are not voluntarily going to do the right thing. They never have. They never will. It's not that they're bad guys. It's just that's not their motive. Their motive is the profit motive, okay? All right, now, on to other kooky ideas that Rand Paul has. He wants to get rid of the Department of Education. Hey, you know what? Good luck with that. Have at it, Hoss. Look, here's the thing. At least that's not driven by some lobbyist interest or corporate interest. You want to put that up for a vote? I think you're going to get your ass handed to you on a platter. But go for it. There's nothing wrong with that. That's an honest debate in the country. You say you're against education. I say I'm for education. I'm being a little unfair there. A little unfair. He's against the Department of Education, which is different. But I think he's going to lose that vote. But no harm in trying, okay? Now, the real problem is his other idea, abolishing the IRS. Conservatives pretend that they're for balanced budgets, etc., and they care deeply about that and the deficit. So they imagine what the deficit is going to look like if you abolish the IRS. Yeah, let's not collect income tax. Let's see how that one turns out, okay? So they're like, what, sick that I didn't see that coming. Oh, my God, Jesus, Lord, mercy, look at that deficit. Now, I know they're going to say, hey, no. It doesn't mean we're not collecting taxes. We're just not collecting income tax. First of all, you're never going to be able to collect enough tax if you don't have the income tax. And it's going to be a disastrous experiment if you try. Doesn't matter, it's never going to pass. But I'm telling you, if you want to have an argument on ideology. Number two, the real problem with that idea is, look, if you do taxes based on sales tax or consumption tax, flat tax, these are the kind of things that conservatives and libertarians push for. You know what that shifts the tax burden onto? Poor, but mainly middle class. So let's take a consumption tax as an example, right? The rich only spend a small percentage of their money. So, I mean, forget Bill Gates, even people much less wealthy than him, they spend what, 1 to 2% of their money? So they're going to get taxed on 1 to 2% of their money. Whereas if you're a regular average American family, you spend a great percentage of your income on expenses, on food, your housing, et cetera, et cetera. So you're going to get taxed on 60, 70, 80, 90% of your income. So the great idea, populist idea that the right wing has is, let's greatly increase the burden of taxes on the middle class and cut the taxes for the rich tremendously. That's an idea I've got no interest in. It is not just, it doesn't make any sense, and it will just pulverize the country. But luckily, it doesn't have any chance of passing. So you know what? Rand Paul wins. The things that he agrees with us on have a chance of passing. I'll take it. The things he doesn't agree with us on, he's cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. He ain't ever going to win those anyway. So much rather have him than an establishment Republican who's only going to vote based on how corporate America tells him to vote. That's the bottom line.